Hello and welcome to IRIP. Now what? The content of this video was made by the Wayne Risa Literacy Team. My name is Bridget Regan and I serve as one of the literacy consultants here at Wayne Risa. It is my pleasure to share this content with you today. Wayne Risa's role is to provide service and support to local districts and schools within our county. Our literacy team here at Wayne Risa brings a variety of experiences to this work, including being parents ourselves, former teachers, reading specialists, as well as leadership roles in education, such as elementary school principal. However, the most important role we bring to this topic is that of parent or caregiver. We know what it feels like to be in your shoes. We know how passionate you are about helping your child succeed as a reader and writer. It is our hope that this video provides you with some background about the Read by Grade 3 law, help you understand what an IRIP is, and most importantly, provide you with some practical suggestions with things you can do at home to help your child. Your child's teacher or school may have told you that your child has an IRIP, and you might be wondering, what in the world is that? Let's break down what this means in friendly, everyday terms. An IRIP stands for Individualized Reading Improvement Plan. It means that your child has been identified as needing some additional support in the area of reading based on some testing as well as observations the school has made. This doesn't mean it's a bad thing. Rather, it's an opportunity for your child, you, and the school to come together to help your student soar. Let's back up for just a few minutes to talk about where the IRIP came from. This slide references the test that all third graders across the state of Michigan take each spring. Students are tested in ELA, which stands for English Language Arts, which is a fancy way of saying reading and writing. The graphic on the right represents the percent of students that were not proficient. In other words, the percent of students that did not pass the state test in the year 2019. You'll see that indicated in red. You can see pretty quickly the percentage is quite alarming. More than half of our students across our entire state did not pass the third grade reading test. If we zoom in even a bit closer to home here in Wayne County, you will notice that the picture is even bleaker. 66.8% of the students in Wayne County did not pass the state test in the spring of 2019. It should be noted that we do not have state data for this test for the spring of 2020 due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Unfortunately, the data we just saw for 2019 was quite common for previous years as well. Spring testing of all third graders in the years 2015 to 2018 showed similar results. All of this led to the state of Michigan legislature passing a law in 2016, which we now know as the Read by Grade 3 law. Let's break down what that law means for you as a parent or caregiver of a student in grades K through 3. First, your student's school is busy during the first 30 days checking to see what students know about reading and writing, using a variety of tests to see how they perform. The law requires that all students are assessed, which is just a fancy word for tested, within the first 30 days of school. The good thing about this type of testing for all students is that it allows teachers to see the strengths in each child. This information helps teachers plan their lessons to meet the needs of every student. Teachers can also see those students that may need a little extra help. For those students, an IRIP is developed. The IRIP is developed in partnership with the teacher, the principal, you, the parent or caregiver, and anyone else the team feels should be involved. The plan will provide some specific steps that will happen at home and at school to help the student succeed. The progress of the student will be checked throughout the school year, and the plan may be adjusted as needed. Although each school district may use a different form for the actual IRIP, again, Individualized Reading Improvement Plan, this example shows some of the basic categories. This includes scores from various tests, the student's progress, as well as action steps. The purpose behind the IRIP is to build communication between school and home to help build language and literacy skills for students. It allows the school team to develop a deep understanding of literacy practices while ensuring that some specific action steps are taken for your student. It also allows for strong collaboration in schools through the use of guiding questions and shared decision-making. It also allows for a strong focus on effective literacy practices that have been proven to work. In the spring, the students will take the M-STEP, which is the test that all third graders across the state of Michigan take that was mentioned earlier. If the student does not pass the test, the child may be retained, or in other words, may need to repeat the third grade the following school year. While this may seem scary, the IRIP is designed to prevent this from happening. Together, the school, the student, and the caregiver or parents work together to help the student do the very best. So let's talk about what you can do at home to help your student and hopefully avoid retention at the end of grade 3. First, and most importantly, you need to promote reading in your home. This means that your child needs to see that reading is important and that it's something we do each and every day of our lives and that it's joyful. They need to see that without reading, life will be much harder and not nearly as exciting. Reading can open up doors for our students. Let's look at a few specific things you can do to promote the love of reading in your home. First, consider getting a special basket to store books. If you store them in a basket you can carry, then consider how you might bring the basket of books in the car with you too. Kids love to read in the car. The basket can travel to grandma's house, on longer road trips, as well as to the grocery store. Did you know what happens to achievement when only 10 minutes a day is added to students reading? If you look at the left-hand side of the screen, you will see that when a child reads 1.8 minutes per day at home, their percentile rank is 30. In this chart, a percentile rank of 30 is a fancy way of saying that 70% of students will do better than the child who only read for 1.8 minutes per day. Now draw your eyes over to the right-hand side of the chart where it says 21.1 minutes per day. Can you see the percentile rank there? It's 90%. This means that if students read an average of 20 minutes a day, they will likely succeed more as a reader than 90% of other students their own age. Reading aloud to your child every day is also important. Kids love to hear stories. One of the greatest benefits of students hearing the stories read aloud to them is that they get to hear how reading sounds in the ear when it's read smoothly. Also, it's great to talk with your child about the books as they're reading. Sometimes finding time to do this every day can be challenging, and thankfully, there are some websites that have recordings of books that kids can listen to. The whole family could even cuddle up on the couch and listen to a story. Sites like Storyline Online offer a variety of wonderful books, such as Catching the Moon and A Bad Case of Stripes, for kids to listen to. Simply open your search bar on your phone, tablet, or computer and type Storyline Online and let the listening begin. And of course, we can't forget about the local library. A great way to develop responsibility in your student is to help them get their own local library card. Consider visiting your local library a few times a month as you have your child look for books that interest them. During the lending period, you could even add those books to the special basket you have at home. This is a great way to add a new and fresh look to the book titles in your child's basket. If you're unable to get to the local library, be sure to check out the free Michigan e-library or electronic library. This great resource is free for everyone and contains books and other reading materials that can be accessed on the computer in a variety of topics and age ranges. Simply type Michigan e-Library into the search bar in your computer to find it. Lastly, as we think about ways to promote reading in your home, a must is to talk with your child about what they're reading. This includes the stories you read aloud to them and even the stories they listen to online, such as through Storyline online. Ask your child what their favorite part of the book was and why. Ask them what they think about the characters' actions in the book and whether or not they would have made the same decision. Asking simple questions that start with who, what, where, when, and why all promote a deeper understanding of the story and will aid in your child's reading development. Another important action step you can take to help your child is to encourage writing. Writing can take on many forms, and the goal for your child should be to show them how we use writing in our daily lives, just as we do reading. Consider setting up a writing station with a variety of writing supplies, such as scrap paper, colored pencils, markers, crayons, and envelopes. Kids love to be creative. Encourage your child to make books, as we see the little boy on the left-hand side of the screen doing, as well as help you write shopping lists, make to-do lists, and perhaps even journal about their day's activities. Journals can also be a way for students to express their feelings as they're dealing with the daily stressors in their own lives. Students can also advocate for themselves by writing an email to their teacher, as well as to their family and friends. All of this is considered writing and will support your child's growth. Even though our world has become very techy, letter writing is still a wonderful way for communication between people. Think about the people in your child's life they could write letters to. Perhaps a loved one that lives out of town, or perhaps they are passionate about something in your local community and they'd like to write a letter to that organization. Kids love to receive mail, so think of ways you might set up pen pal correspondence for your child too. Young students in preschool through grade 3 often need practice writing letters, numbers, and simple words. Get creative while having children practice this skill by using dry erase markers, shaving cream, magnetic letters, and even sand trays. All of these materials are often found around your home or are even accessible at dollar convenience stores. While it might be messy, kids love to learn with this hands-on approach. Lastly, and most importantly, as you are helping your child grow as a reader and writer, do your best to have patience. Remember that all children develop at different rates, and what comes quickly for one child may take longer for another. This is completely normal and okay. It's simply a part of the learning process. When your child is working to read a book or a sentence to you, be sure to give them time to sound out the word. Give them prompts to look closely at the first letter or the first several letters in the word. Providing this wait time for your child will give them a chance to do the processing. Thank you for listening to this recording designed to help you better understand the IRIP process, as well as discover ways you can help your child at home. Thank you for listening to this recording designed to help you better understand the IRIP process, as well as discover ways you can help your child at home. You can visit our Wayne Risa website and download the resources that you see here. As your child's advocate, they have no better teacher than you. Please remember to reach out to your child's school and teacher if you have additional questions. Thank you for listening and for being a wonderful advocate for your child.